Just hours ago, Trump rushed into an emergency military meeting. The Situation Room went dark, phones were cut, and what followed? Full-scale U.S. military positioning. Over 30 United States military aircraft just landed in the United Kingdom, Estonia, Germany, and Greece. We're talking refuelers, surveillance planes, bombers, and 2 U.S. aircraft carrier groups are heading toward the region. This is not a drill. This is pre-combat logistics. The UK is moving too. They've launched Eurofighter Typhoons and Voyager refueling jets to the Middle East. British forces are now war-footing. NATO is posturing. Meanwhile, Israel continues to hammer Tehran. Iran just called for total retaliation if one more senior official is killed. And let's not forget, Iran-backed militias are already attempting strikes on U.S. bases in Iraq and Syria with drones and missiles. What's next? Trump says Iran must unconditionally surrender or face the consequences. This could spiral fast. Share this with everyone now. You need to stay informed. The world just changed.
All right, Shalom. First and foremost, all praise and glories unto Yahweh, Ba'ashim, Yahushai, Ba'ashim, Rachak, Wadash. Double honor to our apostles, the bishops, the elders of the great millstone. Greetings, salutations, blessings, much love unto you elect. Your brother Shaquat with a quick, this should be a fairly quick video. Just want to, because he said a mouthful. The guy on the left said a mouthful here, okay? Getting you lined up. And what you see happening is biblical prophecy coming to pass, okay? So we're going to be talking about these things all the way to the end, to the prophets, or to the famine of the word, okay? But I want to hit what he's actually talking about. This is Joel chapter 3, where it says, this is what's happening in the world, okay? He named a bunch of countries, NATO posturing, and so on and so forth, right? It says, I'll start at verse 1, and this is the key to this for you so-called Negro, Latinos, Native Americans. This is the time that you get out of captivity. Okay, this is that time. This is the time that you look around and you see that, hey, I need to change my ways towards righteousness, that I may be given salvation to escape. We will no longer be caught up in captivity here, subject to payments, subject to this wicked life here in America anymore. Okay, in different parts of the world. This is when our Lord Yahushua returns. All right. So what do we have? We have Joel chapter 3, verse 1. Behold, in those days and in that time, and what time is it talking about? It's talking about now. This is all relevant to now. Okay? It says, when I shall bring again the captivity of Judah and Jerusalem. When you go into the scriptures and you see the historical events of the prophets coming into that kingdom, prophesying against that kingdom, it was at the end of that kingdom. Okay, so no different than now. We're prophesying against this place, and it's at the end of this place. All right, it says, and what's this place? You know, America, the NATO, EU, and basically the rulership of all the other nations over the Israelites. Right now, it's the end of Esau's kingdom, and the beginning of Jacob is the beginning of it that followeth. Okay. Pursuing the second Ezra, the 6th chapter. Anyway, it says, I will also gather all nations and will bring them down to the valley of Jehoshaphat, Yahweh Shaphat, the place of the Most High's judgment, of Yahweh's judgment, okay, where he's going to judge the whole world there. All right, it says, and I will plead with them there for my people, talking about the Israelites, and for my heritage Israel, whom they have scattered among the nations and parted my land. And they've scattered the Israelites. That's why we're scattered amongst the heathen and may even look like the heathen. But the spirit of our forefathers goes back to the Israelites according to our father line. Okay? And that's the mixed multitude that a lot of people, and we said not nor Jew nor Greek, all the mixed heathen that you want to bring into, those are still Israelites. But they've been scattered and following the customs of the heathen. Okay? They're going to come back and be through the kinship of Israel again. Again, being the key word there, all right? Now, when you jump down, this is what you're actually seeing. Verse 9 said, proclaim you this among the Gentiles. We tell the other nations this, right? Prepare war. And this is what we're seeing. They're preparing war. Wake up the mighty men, your warriors, and let all the men of war draw near. Let them come up. Beat your plowshares into swords and your pruning hooks into spears. Let the weak say, I am strong. And all these nations now are strong. Okay? Meaning they have high-level military capabilities now. Okay? Meaning, what are they able to do now? They're able to fight. They may not have nukes, but they got other types of missiles that they're getting from these higher up nations. Particularly, you go to Ezekiel the 38th chapter, Russia being a guard over those southern Middle East nations. Okay, and it had a nice list, and it's the same region of people that we see today. Persia was one of them, which we know is Iran, right? Continuing on anyway, it says, assemble yourselves and come up, all ye heathen, and gather yourselves together round about. Thither cause thy mighty ones to come down, O Lord. And that's the battle that even Yahushua and the angels will join into. Okay? They're even going to join into this battle. To let the heathen be awakened and come up to the valley of Jehoshaphat, for there will I sit to judge all the heathen round about. All right? Talking about the time, I'll read it. Put ye in the sickle, for the harvest is ripe. Come, get you down, for the press is full, the fats overflow, for their wickedness is great. The wickedness in the earth is great right now. Perfect time to judge all the heathen. And look how bad Israel, the Negro, Latinos, and Native Americans, and Israelite foreigners, how wicked you've become. Just by the course of the world and the rulers that run the world. Okay, it says multitudes in the valley of decision. That's where they're posturing. That's where they're moving the chessboard around. The chess pieces on the chessboard around. Of course, the chessboard is the world. They're moving it into position, okay, to fight this third world war, the final war, okay, according to the prophecy. It says, for the day of the Lord is near in the valley of decision. Now, let me go to something else that he said. Trump had an emergency meeting in the Situation Room. Let's see if I can back it up to where he says it. Emergency military meeting, Situation Room. Went dark, phones cut. Okay, so let's go to that in the scriptures. Okay, Isaiah 47:13 says, thou art wearied in the multitude of thy counsels. Okay, they're nervous, man. They don't see when they start realizing that they're seeing these lights in the sky and they're positioning themselves, certain moving lights that defy gravity and defy physics are starting to move around in the heavens, and they're starting to be like, we don't know what that is. What was that? Why is it in our atmosphere? Why is it in our airspace? They're trying to do something about it and can't do anything about it. It's going to get even more scarier onto these people. Okay? But also, they're seeing they got to worry about the other nations right now moving around doing certain things as well. And this is what you're seeing happening. Okay? It says, let now the astrologers, the stargazers, and monthly prognosticators stand up and save thee from these things that shall come upon thee. They're not going to be able to, but they got to try to figure something out. Okay? They still got to try to figure something out. All right? And this is what you see happening in the earth. Okay? When you see these, because I didn't scroll, and there's so many clips and videos of everybody chipping in about what they think about Israel and Iran, and these are the two major players, okay, in the Middle East. The least of the flock should draw them out. That's what you're seeing with Israel. Let me go to that just to be thorough. Jeremiah 50:45. Therefore, hear ye the counsel of the Lord that he hath taken against Babylon. And this is what we should be listening to. They're going to ask us about this counsel. They're going to round us up. This whole ICE thing is going to lead to them rounding us up. Okay, asking us, what is it that you know? We have footage of you saying such and such and such and such. Okay? And they're going to take that testimony and try to use it against us, but the Lord's going to lift up a standard. But anyway, it says, therefore hear ye the counsel of the Lord Yahweh, that he hath taken against Babylon in his purposes, that he that he had purposed against the land of the Chaldeans, the wise counselors, okay, the leaders. It says, surely the least of the flock should draw them out. And that's talking about those people that's in the Holy Land now. Okay? We should know who that is. Okay? It says, surely he shall make their habitation desolate with them. At the noise of the taking of Babylon, the earth is moved, and the cry is heard among the nations. Yeah, going to Revelation the 18th chapter. Okay, we know that that's the destruction of America, as well as the merchants of the earth are going to look and see it. But there's other places also, as it's spoken of right there, that are going to be destroyed, particularly the land of Israel. It has to be cleared out. Okay, a lot of nasty blood over there has to be cleaned. All right. So this is it, and you see all these different, like this is from the Appalachia Prepper. All right, and I've seen good videos by this guy, good clips and whatnot. So you got to really start dialing in and tuning into the prophets to get the play, because the playbook is the persecution has to come, the famine of the word has to come, and then the time is getting shorter and shorter for you to rehearse and practice being righteous, man, and living that righteous way. Okay, to the best of your ability, exhibiting your faith that way. Okay, because if you don't, salvation is over, man. You're going to get destroyed in this war that's being built up as we speak. All right, so I'm going to end it right there. Just something real quick. Lord, one is edifying, giving all praise and glory unto Yahweh, to the next one, Shalom.